Alright, so I'm going to be showing how to open up and disassemble this Acer Aspire E5-575 series. Okay? Excuse me. Exact model is E5-575G-57D4. This was a bad idea eating these candies before starting, but let's go ahead and get to it. This one, it's powering up but not showing anything on the screen. If they're lucky, it might be loose RAM, so we're going to take these 3 screws out, and we're going to check that. Keep the screws in order because they can be different size, shape, and lengths. The way I do that, flat side down like that, on my desk in the pattern I remove them. So we have these 3 screws, we're just going to remove those. Oops, I'm using the wrong screwdriver. You want to use a PH1 or JAS1 screwdriver. It's actually accidentally using a PH0. You don't want to do that. While you can get the screws out, having a loose fit can strip the screws sometimes, so if you use the wrong one and the screwdriver skips, you can actually damage the screws and then you might be unable to get them out. Alright, we're going to remove the cover. There's a little cutout here, so you get under there, pull up on it. Alright, now we have that open. You can see there's 1 stick of RAM here, and there's a M.2 that's a M.2 SATA SSD. So yeah, anyways, let's check the RAM. We're going to pull these 2 tabs aside, pops out like that. Sometimes just wiping them down like this fixes it. I know some people don't like that I do that. If you want, you can use whatever works for you. Some people will use rubbing alcohol, but that works perfectly fine. Alright, we're going to open this up and let's see if anything changed. Did the power button even do anything? Does it have to be plugged in to turn on? Okay, let me get the plug real quick and I'll be back. Alright, so I'm back. I got the plug. Let's plug that in. Alright, and let's power it up. And the keyboard lit up now. So that's really weird. Okay, and as you can see, nothing's happening on the screen. So I don't know what's going on. That's kind of weird that the battery's not holding any charge at all. I did leave this plugged in overnight. So let's go ahead and start taking this whole thing apart then. Alright, let's go ahead and get all the screws out. Again, you do want to keep all the screws in order. Okay, so I just usually will keep them in rows. So technically I would put like these 4 in a row. But you do whatever helps you remember it. Alright, now that we got those 4, I'll take these 4 out. Alright, and if this video helps you out, make sure to like, subscribe, share my channel with others so that they can learn how to upgrade and repair their devices as well. If it helps you save a bunch of money, please consider contributing a little to the channel. Every little bit helps and allows me to continue making these videos for a living. Alright, actually, yeah, okay, that's right. Okay, so those 4, and then we got 1 here holding the CD drive or optical drive in place. There's also a battery reset button right here, a little hole. I'm going to see if I can push that. I wonder if this tool will reach far enough. No, it doesn't. So I need to find something that's thin enough. I don't know what happened with the needle I had, but it's gone. So let me find a tool and I'll be back. Alright, I'm back. So I got a paper clip and I just unbent it. Let's see if that works. And yes, it does. So I can actually feel a click. I'm going to press and hold that for about 15 seconds. Oop. And then we're going to see about powering it up again and see if anything changed. I doubt it, but it's always worth a shot. Okay, let's go ahead and plug this back in and see if anything changed. Again, I don't know how long this computer's been dead because the battery's not charging at all. Alright. Nothing's happening. So dusty on here. Sometimes after resetting the battery, it can take a while if it's like resetting the BIOS or something. I don't see anything appearing on the screen at all. I'm going to press and hold the power button, see if the screen even flickers. No. Yeah, nothing happens. I hear the CD drive kind of make some sound, but other than that, nothing. So we're gonna shut it off and we'll continue taking it apart and see if we find anything else. All right, let's take the SSD out. One screw here. Comes up at an angle. Then you can kind of grab it and just wiggle and pull it back. Is it held in with this tape here? Oh my God, it is. Okay, so this thing is kind of preventing it from coming out, so I just folded that back. But yeah, this is an M.2 SATA SSD. Okay. We can now pull out the CD drive since we took this screw out. I just run my fingernail up and down there, kind of pulling on it at the same time, and there we go. I think this is like a 9-point-something millimeter one, but you'll want to measure that just to be safe. You can replace this with a hard drive adapter, and you can actually also get a hard drive and fit it in here as well. So if you wanted, you can have 2 hard drives and the SSD there. Or you can even put an SSD in here and an SSD in here, and you can have 3 SSDs. But you do whatever you want. All right, let's get 3 screws out of here in the CD drive slot. Okay, and we'll just continue getting all these screws out. I think we got most of them. There's one over here. Okay, and if this video helps you out, please make sure to like, subscribe, share my channel with others so that they can learn how to upgrade and repair their devices as well. And if it helps you save a bunch of money, please consider contributing a little to the channel. Every little bit helps and allows me to continue making these videos for a living. All right. So we got 4 more screws down here. We might have to disconnect the speaker connector here as well. Okay. All right, last 2 screws, and then we can hopefully pop this thing apart. All right, let's actually disconnect the speaker connector here. I'll zoom in a bit for you guys. Grab the wings just like that and just wiggle them. Okay, and it should, there we go, pop out. Take note of which side is face up, the one with the metal contact showing. You don't want to flip this upside down and try and force that in. We're going to unlatch that even though we probably don't need to take that out yet. There's another latch here. I'm not sure what that's for, but this one is for the keyboard. This is for the trackpad. The keyboard has these little the connector has these little wings, this one here and the one here, that you kind of pull down and then you can slide the connector out, but I'm going to leave that as is. Let's go ahead now and see if we can separate the 2 layers. All right. So it looks like there's a gap here that we're going to try and get in. As you can see, it's popping out. Okay. So let's see, can we pop it this way? I'm assuming all this stuff stays down because this is held in with adhesive. So I'm gonna push down with my thumb here and pull up here and carefully work my way around. Actually, let me zoom out a bit more so you guys can see. Work our way around and continue separating the layers. Again, I just run my fingernails along that little gap there. Gonna go on this side and same thing. This one you want to be careful because there's these little clips that hold it down, and if you pull too hard without moving them the right way, it can break the plastic. So I actually push this inwards as I lift it. Okay, if I remember correctly, on these kinds of models, the batteries might be attached to the bottom here. Let's see. Still stuck. There we go. I feel it coming out. This cover feels a bit heavy, so most likely the battery is attached. Oh, all these ports here are attached, so we actually need to swing it this way. Okay, so it's not attached, it's just it was pulling the motherboard up like this a little bit. All right, and the battery is connected here, so I don't see anything wrong with that. All right. Let's double check. Let's actually disconnect this here, the battery. So I'm going to use the wings just like all the other connectors and use that to kind of wiggle to pull that back. This battery looks wobbly, so can we just lift it out? Yep. So the battery just lifts out like that. Here's the battery model number. AS16B5J. And when you plug it in, make sure the flat side is facing up, or you can keep in mind the red wires go towards the CD drive, black wires go towards the fan. You don't want to accidentally plug it in upside down where you can actually see these contacts, all right? So you want to make sure you plug it in the right way. When you buy a new battery, it might ship like this. You don't want to plug it in like that or you're going to fry your entire motherboard. Okay, DC jack charge port connectors here. Just like the other ones, you can kind of wiggle it and pull it back. I'm going to leave that plugged in. If you need to remove that, you do need to remove this last screw, and then you can kind of swing the hinge out of the way. Usually what I do is I open the laptop up. You want to be careful opening the laptop because there's only one screw holding the hinge now, so I'll use my thumb to help it and my hands inside so I can lift it all at once. Then what you do, remove that screw, and then when you push this down, the hinge will stay up. But I'm going to leave it there, and then you can actually pull this up and out and unthread this here. Okay. I think I know what happened. They must have spilled some liquid in here. You can see this USB-C port. Looks kind of bad. You can see the VGA port here. Looks pretty bad. I'll try cleaning it a little bit, but I don't think that's going to help. It likely fried the internal components. The motherboard's probably dead. Alright, we got this connector here running along for the USB port and the audio headphone jack, whatever. Again, you got the keyboard connector, trackpad connector. I don't know what this tiny one's for, but there's one there. And then that's where we pulled the speakers from. And that's pretty much it. There's not much else in here. Oh, and the wireless card, of course. One other thing I need to do, I'm going to carefully open this up again. Again, using my thumbs here to help support it. And now that we got the battery disconnected and everything, I'm going to hold the power button for about 15 seconds to drain any residual power. All right. This will make it a lot safer to work on. And while we're here, I'm going to try popping open the LCD bezel as well. And we'll check the cable for the screen itself as well. But I doubt there's anything going on with the screen. It looks like the computer itself is just toast. Okay, so let's see if we can pop the screen out here. Doesn't want to pop. Okay, there we go. So we're slowly, carefully. What I'm doing is I'm basically rotating it this way, pulling up from the inside part, and then pushing inwards a little with my thumb. Okay. All right, we're going to continue working our way now down the side. Same thing, but I'm just doing it a bit faster. Okay. Okay. Same thing with the inside here. You pull up from the middle. And I think it's going to pop out easily now. Okay. It's still attached to something here, so if you want, you can unclip this piece. I just get my fingernail in there and kind of pop the two layers to get apart. And there we go. Came out super simple. We're going to now undo the the screws holding the screen in place. So they have these metal tabs. We're going to remove those 4. Okay. Now that we did that, we're going to flip the screen up just like this. And I'm going to carefully rotate this over. Let me, if you're wondering, the screen model number is right here. The LP, hopefully you can read that, LP156WF6, and then in parentheses SP and B5. All right, there you go. We're going to rotate this over. We're going to double check that this connection is tight. Again, I don't think this is any part of the problem because the battery has its own issue. And I have a feeling that the computer is just not turning on. All right, so they made this tape so that when you peel it, it actually tears itself, which sucks. So I'm going to try and work my way over to here. and try and peel it vertically. There we go, that works. Now we can rotate it over. I'll leave that side taped down since that side was tearing itself. Okay, now we gotta peel this adhesive up. It usually helps to get like a plastic razor blade or something to kind of get underneath. Okay, just like this. Okay, once you've got enough of it up, you can go underneath and peel that out. And this connection looks perfectly fine. But anyways, I'm going to use the wings of the connector again. Use my thumbnails here to push it out. And then let's go ahead and get it back in and pull it back into place. Get that line back up. And then again, I'm going to use my fingernails up at the top and help pull that in. There we go. Put this adhesive back down, and we'll, I guess, put this adhesive back down. I don't know why they use this capped on tape there, but they do. Okay, we'll flip this back over. Oh, sorry, let me zoom out. And get the 4 screws back in. Perfect. Okay, make sure that cable follows the guides. And then we'll just get these screws back in. And we only have one more piece. Oh, if you're wondering, there's also the webcam cable here that attaches to this piece here that you can actually pull out and push back in. All right, and this is held down with an adhesive, so if you wanted, you'd have to peel this up. Excuse me. All right, wireless antennas, there's 2 here. This silver piece is actually taped down somewhat, so you do have to peel that out if you're going to replace those antennas. But yeah, all right, let's get the bezel back on. Slide this back into place. All right, pinch the 2 pieces from the front and the back, and then we can kind of work this back in. And basically what we're doing is we're pushing around the outer edge now. So basically it's doing the opposite. It kind of like does how we were pulling it up, but now instead the pressure is going inward, back into the screen instead of pulling it away. Okay, there we go. Looks good. Let's carefully close this up. Again, I'm gonna pinch where the hinges are and use that to help rotate. We can check this cable as well, but I doubt that's an issue. So this cable, usually you kind of just pull up on this, but if it doesn't want to come out, I like to use my fingernail and help pop it up just like that. Sorry, it's wobbling. All right, and then we're just gonna push that back down. Okay, let's get the battery back in. So basically you just drop this back down. There's nothing that holds it in place. And get this all lined up, pinch that into place. Not much else. All right, we're just gonna get now the bottom cover back on, and we're pretty much done. So to put the bottom cover back on, go ahead again at this angle so that we can get these parts over into place. Oh, and since we unlatched this, I'm gonna just latch that back down. All right, it goes at an angle like that, and then you swing it back down. Click everything back in. Don't forget to put the speaker connector back in. Again, make sure you didn't flip that upside down. Okay, pinch that back into place. Good. All right, what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna put the few screws here first for this that were under the CD drive. Well, okay, so you got those 3 in. Then we'll get the CD drive, slide that back into place. Good. Next, we're gonna actually put all these hinge screws up here first, because I want to make sure the hinge screws are all lined up and in place. All right. That way when we open and close it, it has the screws helping hold it in place, and it's not going to actually rip the hinges out of the case. Okay. Pretty sure it's still going to be dead, but we'll find out. Okay. Last screw we're going to put in before we turn it on, other than the SSD screw. So let's get the SSD. It goes in at an angle like this. Get it in the slot, push it in. Once you get that in, just lower that down. Get that screw in. Perfect. We'll get this cover. Goes in at an angle like this. Work your way around the edges. Stick everything back in. Alright, let's go ahead and see if it changed anything. If it didn't, we're just going to put back the screws and we're going to stop there because it seems like it might be a motherboard issue and also a bad battery. Okay, so we'll plug this in back over here now. Power it up. You can see the keyboard's lighting up. Nothing's coming on the screen. So sadly, it looks like they fried the motherboard. And actually, they also show the model number here, Acer Aspire E15 and E5-575G-57D4. That's the full model information. But yeah, nothing's happening here. I see the keyboard lights on. If you guys can see that, I'm going to unplug it and it's probably just going to shut off. Oh, actually, it's staying on this time. Interesting. So whatever I did fixed the battery charging issue. The battery is actually holding some power now. But still nothing's coming on the screen. So if they're lucky, it could just be a bad stick of RAM or something. Oh, I don't know why it just turned itself off now. Oh, maybe it's restarting itself. Let's see. We'll give it a few seconds or minutes or whatever. I'm actually going to put the screws in while I'm waiting for it to do its thing, or while it's doing its thing. We'll see if it does anything. Thing. Alright, let's get all these screws back on. And that's pretty much it. So hopefully this video helped you guys out. If it did, make sure to like, subscribe, share my channel with others so that they can learn how to upgrade and repair their devices as well. If it helped you save a bunch of money, please consider contributing a little to the channel. Every little bit helps and allows me to continue making these videos for a living. But other than that, that's all there is to this. You're welcome to stay as I get all these screws back in. But yeah, thanks for watching. And I'll see you all in the next one. Alright. So far, still nothing's coming up on the screen. So I'm pretty sure this laptop is toast. But we're going to get all this stuff back in first. And we'll let it keep running and see if anything changes. I think the keyboard is off right now, actually. So it turned itself back off. Yeah, I think it's dead completely. Alright, I'm going to put this down and we'll just get all the screws back in because it looks like nothing's happening. And that's all there is to it. Alright. Did I mix something up? Okay, we got, oh, that's what I mixed up. I put the cover on first. There's two screws underneath here that I need to put back. Okay. Don't forget those two screws. One under here and one over here. All right. Last one in that corner. This back on. Alright. The computer's acting like it's still on. Like there's two blue lights here. That means it's on, but it's not doing anything. And I don't hear the fan at all. So I'm pretty sure the computer's just dead. Alright, that's it. Oh, actually the fan is spinning, but yeah, not really doing anything. And I also checked with an external monitor, of course, so yeah. Alright, thanks for watching. I'll see you all in the next one. Let's drop this. Bye.